Hi, my name is Valeria, and in this video, I'm going to share my reflection of our special education course. I'm going to talk about my key takeaways from the semester, the personal growth I experienced, and the autism inclusion project that had the biggest impact on me, and finally, what I'm looking forward to as I continue learning about special education. One of my biggest takeaways from this course was understanding the laws and foundations of special education. Before this class, I knew special education involved certain supports, but I really didn't understand how much legal protection and structure goes into making sure students receive what they need. Learning about IDEA and the IEP process helped me realize how detailed, collaborative, and essential these systems are for supporting students with disabilities. Another major takeaway for me was learning about universal design for learning. UDL really changed how I think about teaching. It's not about making one lesson for the whole class, it's about planning multiple pathways so every student can access the content and show what they know. I now understand the flexibility and choices aren't extra, they're part of inclusive teaching. I also deepened my understanding of what inclusion truly means. Inclusion isn't just sitting students with disabilities in the same room as everyone else. It's about making sure they are actively participating, feeling supported, and having access to meaningful learning opportunities. Inclusion requires intentional planning, collaboration, patience, and a commitment to equity. Overall, these takeaways help me shape my understanding of what it means to be a teacher who is prepared to support all learners. This semester really pushed me to grow personally. One of the biggest areas of growth was becoming more aware of stereotypes and assumptions people often have about disability. I realized how subtle some biases can be, even in the language we use or the way we interpret behavior. Learning the difference between equity and equality also changed my mindset. Equality gives everyone the same thing, but equity gives each student what they need to succeed. That difference feels simple, but it really shifted how I view fairness in education. Another area where I grew was in understanding representation and language. The words we choose can either empower or unintentionally reinforce stereotypes. And overall, I feel like I've built a lot more confidence in working with students with disabilities. Instead of feeling nervous or unsure, I now feel more prepared, more knowledgeable, and more aware of how to create a supportive environment. The assignment that impacted me the most was my autism inclusion project. This project helped me understand autism from multiple angles, not just the educational definitions, but also the real experience of autistic individuals. As I worked on the project, I learned about sensory sensitivities, communication differences, and how big changes in routine can affect autistic students. Hearing or reading personal stories made me look beyond just characteristics and really understand autism as a different way of experiencing the world. The project also helped me recognize how important inclusion is, especially for autistic students. It's not enough to have them present in the classroom, they need to feel supported or understood. That requires structure, predictability, patience, and the willingness to adjust instruction. I also learned some really useful classroom strategies, like using visual schedules, providing sensory breaks, offering calm spaces, using clear instructions, and giving students multiple ways to communicate. These strategies don't only help autistic students, they help everyone. Overall, the Autism Project helped me feel more equipped and more passionate about supporting autistic learners in a meaningful and respectful way. Learning ahead, I want to continue using UDL and differentiated instruction in my future classroom. This course made me realize how important it is to design lessons that meet students where they are instead of expecting them to fit all in the same approach. I also want to continue learning more about disabilities because the more I understand, the better I can support my students. I think being a good educator means always being open to growing and learning. And most importantly, I want to advocate for my students. I want to make sure their voices are heard and their needs are respected, and they feel included and valued in the classroom. Thank you so much for listening to my reflection. I've learned so much in this course, and I'm really grateful for how much it had helped me grow personally and professionally. I'm excited to take everything I learned into my future work with students.